slides, so it's going to be a bit short. So again, anyway, I'm Dasun from Colombo, Sri Lanka. Today I'm going to speak about developing a gamification platform on top of WordPress. Have you heard the word of gamification? Okay. How many of you are playing games? And how many of you are addicted to games? Okay. I will come to this part later. So these are some introduction about me. I have outlined my session into following topics. First, we will talk about what is gamification and why we need it, and then we will see some of the elements and gamification techniques. Then we will see how we can map gamification into WordPress and game elements versus WordPress elements, and finally we will see why we need to make it as a platform. Right? So gamifications. So many of you playing games, right? So gamification is the application of game elements and digital game design techniques applying in non-gaming concept. For example, business. We are doing business, right? Most of people are doing business. Is a running a business is a game or not? It's not a game, right? Sometimes. And making an education platform, let's say, e-learning systems is running an e-learning system is a game. But we can make it as a game using this game design techniques. So that's called gamification, right? So I'm having big trouble with this setup because I cannot see my speaker notes. So let's see. Here. Okay. So reason why we need gamification is we are talking about more and more user experience today, right? So how many of you familiar with the user experience design, and how many of you familiar with UX design fields? Anyone? So, but everyone have heard the term, right? So it's everything about users, and we need to develop an application more focused on the human rather than functions, right? Game industry has been doing this for a lot of times, and they have been huge success, right? Every game's aim is to please human inside. So to make it pleasure, to make pleasure is the aim of the game. Most of the good games. And nowadays we can learn these techniques from the games and apply it in the non-gaming applications. Then we can call it gamification. For example, how many of you heard about Nike running app? Do you know why Nike built this running app?
To increase engagement of their customers.
Of course, because Nike's business is making shoes, and they want to sell more shoes. When the people running wearing Nike shoes, they can sell more and more shoes, right? So they make this running game and gamification application using Nike Plus, so people can wear the Nike shoes and run. So eventually people will engage with the Nike, and their sales is increasing while people enjoying the game, and they will stick with Nike shoes than any other shoes brand, because only Nike shoes has this tracker which we can interact with the Nike applications, right? So it's providing an answer to why we need a gamification, because we need to keep our users engaged with our applications, right? What if your e-commerce site's users addicted to your sites and users always engage with your sites, right? That means your sales is going to increase. So gamification provides these kind of techniques. And for example, if we take a game, there's a game that aliens is coming to the earth and we have to kill the aliens, right? So once you kill an alien, and you will gain more points and you can buy another weapon to kill more aliens. It's like that. It's always game techniques are used to keep the players on the game. If we use these techniques in our applications, the more user will engage with our application. It will build our application reputation. It will help to make the loyal customers, and it will help to user-generated content. Again, have you? How many of you are using Stack Overflow? And how do you think that all the content is come to the Stack Overflow? It's 90% of the content is user-generated questions, right? So people ask the question, and some people give the answers, and they will get the points. So very good example of gamification, how this user-generated content is work for the business, because Stack Overflow making a lot of money just making their interfaces, and this using these gamification techniques. They have done a huge success business. This gamification also tell us how much people spend time on our site. This all time spent, UGC, loyalty, influence, and engagement. These things we can measure. In addition to that, gamification give fun, revenue, and SEO. Of course, revenue we can measure, but fun and SEO, can we measure that? It's unmeasurable. It's giving a lot of things when we apply gamification techniques in our business applications. That's why we need gamification, right? So, in the gamifications, in the games, it has some elements like points, and you can use your own name, and you can level up, and you can share your scores and your levels with the social media, with your friends, and then community collaboration. You can group with the friends and play the games. I have to take more example to explain this more. How many are playing Ingress? Have you heard about Ingress game? No? No one?
I'm playing.
And you're playing. If I recommend you to not to play it because it's very addictive. Ingress is a game where people can work around, like there are some points you need. There's a story that an alien coming to the earth, and they are going to conquer the earth, and we need to stop them. We have to build the portal, and we have to make a feed, like people go to the portal, and they are building a portal and strong areas like that. There's a game techniques like that, and Google built that game to gain location information correctly, right? They have all the information about the location, because people are going and playing and taking photographs and developing portals. They have used this data to build another game called Pokemon Go. Ingress was the first step. Now they are building another game. Maybe they can use these data to build anything, right? So these are the elements and techniques in gamification, because we can talk about the more and more about gamification. It's going to be a lot big topic, but let's stick to the other topic, gamification and WordPress. And if you're more interested about the gamification, I recommend you to go this Octalysis framework, and it is a good gamification framework, and it's connected with human psychology, because human brain is left brain and right brain, and how we can engage our games with these parts is a good framework to refer. And these are some other gamification example. And let me tell you a story about this picture and gamification. I started to contribute to WordPress singular version, then I got this badge. So I wanted to get this badge, this badge, this badge as well. To get to this badge, I did more translation on WordPress, which is community contribution. Then I got approved as a WordPress singular translation editor. Then I got this badge. Then I wanted to get this badge, so we started the WordPress community in Sri Lanka. Then I got that badge. That is the inspiration gamification gives you to just get the badge. I did a lot of sacrification of my time and my money to just get this badge. So it's a good example how the community works, how the people can influence the community works and learning using these gamification techniques. Okay, let's talk about gamification and WordPress. Previously, I don't actually remember your name. He talked more about WordPress and how we make application on top of WordPress. So what do you think about WordPress? Is it a plugin or just CMS or the application framework? So what would be the answer? Okay, I would say all the above and anything under your imaginations, right? It's not just because the REST API. WordPress was built, if you see the first version, it's built as a hackable version that people can hack into WordPress code and making something awesome out of it, right? So that is the same methodology I'm thinking about here to make gamified application on top of WordPress. So I have taken example application as an e-learning platform, right? So if we take e-learning platform, these are the elements that we need to create. We need users and few user levels, teachers, students, and moderators. And of course, we need posters, quizzes, challenges, or levels of user profile, and badges and ranks. If we want to make LMS as a gamified LMS, these things we need. So we will see how we can create these elements using WordPress. WordPress has very good few APIs. I have selected few APIs to make gamified application. We need metadata API. How many of you familiar with metadata in WordPress? Okay. In WordPress, metadata API has two types of meta, user meta, another one is post meta. We can use both post meta and user meta because user meta is the details about the user profile. So since we need to make our application as gamified, we need to give users scores and badges and levels. So for that, we can create new field using user meta to user profile. That's how we give him the point. Right? Then we need custom post type to create courses, quizzes, and badges. And of course, we need to use a lot of WordPress hooks. So how many of you are familiar with action hooks in WordPress? Okay. So filter hooks, great. And finally, we need setting API as well to make some settings, right? So this is the example if WordPress and gamification is a person. Hey WordPress, if some user answers to this question, give him a 10 point and assign a badge. So obviously WordPress can track the user. If some user is answer the question, WordPress can track which user has answered the question, and WordPress can take the user ID. And by using action hook, the quiz custom post type, we can check custom post type status to answer. So using action hook, we can track whether that question is answered or not. Then using user meta, we can give some points or integer value to the user profile and assign another badge, again using custom post type and these hooks. This is a very simple example how we can combine WordPress hooks and settings and WordPress metadata to make a small gamified application. Then we talk about why we need to make it is as a platform. In last session, there was some question about how we can scale WordPress and whether it's scalable. Of course, we love WordPress, but my opinion is WordPress is not the best technology, not the best technology in the world. It is a one good technology, and it's a one good technology of lot of technology stack, right? So why we are making this as a platform is there are some other ERP systems and revenue management system and CRMs, that lot of systems are available and they are not developed using WordPress. But if we are making as a platform, we can communicate with that applications as well to make our application more powerful and more usable, and it can cater to a lot of users. So since we have WordPress REST API and other lot of flexibility to customize it, we can create this gamification application as a platform. That means if we are making application, we can create a separate API using REST API custom endpoints as a gamification API, which can communicate with pretty much any technology in the world. So it would become a platform, because we cannot assume that users are going to use this on only the laptop or the desktop. So users may be using in the mobile or the desktop. So we need to create this adaptive to any platform. So if we make this like this REST API based application, so it can cater to any platform. And that's all. This is very small presentation to how we can create gamified applications. And this is just the beginning. And let me tell you an example that how I used gamified technology to build a WordPress-based application. There was a situation that our company has a separate division which we used to sell computers and mobile phones, and the sales was reducing. And we wanted to increase the sales, but our sales team is dealing with the SAP. So their communication, commissions and salaries and target, everything in SAP. So, but we wanted to make a gamified application and without moving SAP. So obvious answer was the WordPress. So we created a LMS and that system and user point system, and with the support of the REST API, it is easy to connect SAP between WordPress because SAP has their own API. It can communicate with WordPress REST API. So application is done. Our sales got increased. I'm not saying that salesmen are adequate to play this game, because, but there are some improvement. If we use good game techniques, we can make good gamified application. Yeah, that's all. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Any questions for gamification?
So how important do you think, first let me give you a background. I work in the recruitment sector. We are trying to build a game on recruitment, wherein we can crowdsource everything, just like you said, something on that sort. See, I'm not a developer. I would want to have your take on, how do I build it? So I have logics that are there, and then you have a UI. How important do you think is, if you have to assign a relative weightage to each one of them? You have been doing gamification, so how should I proceed? I understand that the development of the overall game could take close to 3 to 4 years. So, should I focus on, the logics, the points, the badges now, or UI is more important for games?
For the game, UI is not important. I'm saying it's not, and then extremely important, but your game techniques are very important, right? So how you can keep players. You said you wanted to make it to recruitment, right? So suppose if someone sent you the CV and he is not selected, right? So and what would happen? He will leave the system, right? So you need to think of way how you can keep the players engaged with your system or your game, gamified application. So you can start, for example, when someone submits the CV, you can start giving him the point. You have just submit the CV and you got 100 points and you got the submission badge. So anyway you can reward him whether user is win or lose. If you can reward him, you can keep him the system, right? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't focus on the UI. You must focus on the UI because UI and gamification, that's everything is for the user experience, right? So you are building a great, if your application provides a great user experience and users are engaged with your applications, that would be your success. So I recommend you pay more attention on game techniques and game elements. Then you can make a successful application.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
We can build gamification on any platform, right? So do you see any advantages to build gamification on top of WordPress?
Yeah, because you can build on any platform, but you need these points, right? You need to pay to manage users. You need to pay to give him the badges or create challenges. WordPress has these user management systems and it's amazing, and it has 10 level of users, admin to subscriber, and there are middle levels of there. And you can easily create custom content type and challenges. There are many plugins that freely available. Even for the batch system, there are some good plugin available. So You don't need to build from the scratch. Everything is, you have some start, right? It's like you have some foundation and you can build on top of it. So this will reduce the time and the cost that need to make application from scratch.
Which means we can use WordPress as the framework to build any kind of application.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can use WordPress, and if you don't want to use WordPress UIs and you don't want to use the PHP, but still you can make this. Still you have to use window PHP to make this APIs and these things to work. Then you can, once you build your API, then you can start working on your own language. Even the advantage is even the language is built on COBOL, that means earlier programming language is still WordPress REST API can communicate with those languages.
And what about the performance? Like if I build gamification on WordPress or other platform like Laravel or Edirisinghe. So what about the performance? Because I think
Laravel and Kotlin is also PHP framework, right? So I don't have much experience with Laravel and Kotlin, so